The mask mandate has gone away, so we'll probably see Miss Singer again. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she's getting ready to head to Southampton sometime in the next 60 days.
Absolutely.
You know, like, what would you say to each of those people? If you
Hey,
ran into
girl.
them?
Hey, like I'm also still from the South, David. Like I'm not a rude bitch. That's not who I am. So hey, I'm gonna speak. I'm not a fake bitch either. So it's like, hey, Ramona, how you doing? What's been good? What's good? And if in my vernacular, what's good is what's up. You got something? Do we need to discuss or are we good? If we're good, I'll accept that. Confrontation's not required. Closure's not even required. But a check-in to be like, I'm good with you. Are you good with me? Because if you're not good with me, then we should talk about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's not act as if, right?
Right.
So if you feel away, if you feel like I threatened your check, or you feel like I cost you $50,000 per reunion episode, or you know what the streets say, then let's be grown and say, and then we can discuss.
Do you think all three of those people feel that you've compromised their check?
Yes. Absolutely. And Sonia might feel like that too. Matter of fact, she's just, whatever. She's working to get some more checks. Good for you, Sonia.
Right. She's focused on
she's focused on new checks. Yeah.
Thing.
Additional checks, I should say. Because I don't think there's like I don't believe in the, kind of end of any of those women. I want to be clear about that. I don't believe that. I don't listen to any of the gossip. I don't believe any of the leaks because I know enough to know that the people who know don't say shit and those who say shit don't know shit. And you know that to be true too.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I see, I talk about it on this show at times, but I see so much stuff and I'm just like, some of this is just downright, like, I know this 0% chance.
Yeah, I used to get, again, my elementary days of being a, new, very green housewife, I would get really upset, like, why are they saying this? And it's like, girl, this is the tip of the iceberg. This is actually for the fans. This is actually, in some ways, very good for the show. Because it kind of piques interest again. RHONY's literally trending today. RHONY hasn't been on the air with brand new episodes in over a year. And yet or I guess about a year ago. But it's trending right now on Twitter.
What is it? Because
of me, actually. Shit.
Well,
shit. No, just kidding.
I was just going to say,
I'm being fun. But because of my Watch What Happens Live. No, because of the Watch What
Oh.
Happens Live episode that I just was on. And, people are guessing, commenting, speculating, good, bad, and other. And actually, I was talking to a friend of mine in the business. And this is something else that I wish my castmates understood. Well, at least, actually, they don't have to understand it because I understand it. And I'm going to tell you who else I think understands it. Candace Dillard. Being like a fan favorite or being popular or liked or even loved on the show is actually extremely irrelevant other than your own personal ego. And that's fine because I'm not saying that we don't all have one and that doesn't feel good. But when it comes to the cementing of the longevity of the show, it takes all kinds. So it takes the villain, it takes the underdog, it takes the top dog, and it takes the fan favorites. So that whole notion of like canceling people who are not the fan favorite is very silly.
100%. Like,
Yeah.
Bravo doesn't care. I mean, they're not
Absolutely.
listening. I couldn't agree
Like, do you think
more.
Bravo gives a shit or anybody that matter cares why RHONY is trending today? No, they just know that it is. And that is important.
And why, and I'm not disagreeing, but why does Miss Candace Dillard understand this?
Oh, and I don't know Candace at all. I met her once at Dave's party. She's a gorgeous girl. We share a pageant background. My interaction, I only assess people from my in-person interaction with them.
Me
because,
too. I say that all the
yeah,
time.
the show is the show, baby. I ain't on your cast. I don't know none of that shit y'all got going. I just know she was lovely to me, and I was reciprocally lovely to her. And I've interviewed her actually on my old news show, Revolt Black News, and she was prepared and great.
I had her on this podcast. I loved her.
Yeah.
She was wonderful and great to me.
Yeah, but, Candace, keeps it hot on Potomac. And, people feel a way about that, good, bad, or indifferent. A lot of, oh, she's this, oh, she's that, and get rid of her. Get rid of her? What are you talking about? Like, that's, the streets are largely talking because of her.
Right.
And so I think that's the sauce. And I think, that's what I mean, I think Candace understands that. I don't know her to know, is she playing that up? Is she not? I don't know. It doesn't matter. What matters is it's working.
I agree with all of that.
Yeah.
Right. Like, they get rid of you when you're either just not right for the show.
Correct.
There's nothing left, or
There's no more story.
you're really out there in a scary way. Which
Correct.
I think that's a small. There's people
I think
on
that's
that
there's
list.
people, but that's a short list.
Right, but I
agree.
don't think Candace is anywhere near to being on that list. And
Hell
so when people
no.
think
Candace
that and
is-
say that, it doesn't work that way.
Honey, Candace is playing the MGM right now, I think, so she's fine.
Yeah.
Again, additional checks.
She has a tour. She has
Literally,
music, you
yeah.
know?
And she has, I think, a great voice. So, and people were really ready to shade that, and surprise on you.
It's real music. It's not like
yeah.
a housewife. It's like a real album.
She actually sang before the
Yeah.
show, unlike some.
Is that a reference to anyone in particular?
It might be about Luann. I mean, Luann. I'm just being cheeky. This is the fun part. Actually, this is the fun, shady part that people said they wanted to see more of. Which actually, Luann and I both exchanged to each other's faces on the finale of season 13.
You did.
Mhm.
Now, if you were to run into Ramona, Luann, or Leah, who do you feel you have the most unfinished business with,
Unfinished business.
or not resolution, or
I think Leah and I we had resolution. Our last
You do?
call.
Oh,
Me,
okay.
I
No,
don't
I
know
mean,
how Leah feels. I haven't talked to Leah since October, the day after the Dave Quinn book party. I feel it was a productive conversation. I think it was a resolute conversation where we were both grown women able to see the limitation and where the inherent conflict of our positioning as it relates to this show lies, and be accepting of it, David. At least that's where I am. Very accepting
right.
of that.
She heard you and said, "I understand
Yes.
your reasons for doing this." And
Well, now
you
she didn't say
understand.
all. I don't know if she said all that, but,
I'm
but she
happy
said
you
I
guys are
heard.
probably best friends
She
again over
had.
here.
Yeah, she said I understand. I understand what you're saying,
Right.
and I certainly understand her position. And I did say that to her. I understand your position. I understand your stakes, and I respect your point of view. And I don't think Leah and I can ask much more of each other.
Right.
Yeah.
So not Leah.
Yeah, and not Luann. Luann and I, Luann came up to Harlem. We had a coffee right before I went to shoot the Panama show. So that must have been early September. No, it wasn't. Yeah, earlier mid-September. And it was, what was it? It was,
I've lost all track. I mean, I lost all track of time myself.
I know. I'm like, yeah, but it was just, I think Luann's, has a clear point of view as to how she sees things, and I accept that. So that's Lou. And Ramona, last time we saw each other was the Avra dinner that much was made about in the New York, the New York Post, page 6. And we actually enjoy. I'll tell you this: who I probably have the most fun with when we have our good days is probably Ramona. Probably is. I think it's just there's something about our personalities when it's. A broken clock is right twice a day. Those 2 times a day, Ramona and I have a good time together. We really do.
Well, she's notorious, as you saw that one time she's notorious when she sees someone in public for just scurrying away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even so sure you guys would have a face-to-face.
Well, I certainly wouldn't be trying to engage in it. I would speak and then, keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.